Yo, what up, though? It's Chris Platte of the Rap Cave podcast. Listen, side quest video, talking Drake, Aubrey. You see the thumbnail. This one is going to be a good little side quest. But please like, comment, share, subscribe before we get into everything. And again, make sure you're tapping in with our main episodes, our weekly episodes on this channel right here, featuring myself, Chris Platte, aka Platte Pod, with an illustrious crew of some of the best voices on hip-hop in the game right now. So I want to get into this because I've seen this and, I'm still figuring out the setup. I'm still building up the setup. So I will be able to, in the future kind of play these videos for you and react to them. That is in the work. But right now I just wanted to get this out there. So Drake was on Adin Ross's stream. And the thing is that the clip that went viral, the clip that Akademiks posted and quoted himself, and also his many, side pages promoted, that was, Adin Ross trying to get Drake to fight somebody and ask Drake how much money would it cost to get you in the ring. And Adin was like, I know who I want you to fight. And Drake just played it off real cool, whatever, and was like, no, chill. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And so then you have Akademiks obviously gassing it up through his many platforms, including his main account. And then you have this other clip I saw, which was calling, and while they were on stream, calling Adin Ross and talking to Drake through Adin Ross. And, just going crazy on it, just doing tricks on it. Like the most glazing. And I get it. It was performative, whatever. But saying, I play that album, that Some Sexy Songs for You all the time. That one song goes. When you perform it, I'm going to be there. Matter of fact, I'm going to run up on stage, grab the mic out your hands and sing it myself. Just doing a lot of extra shit. And again, I get that it's performative, so I'm not going to all the way go in on that part, even though that part is corny, it's cringe. I get it. He's playing to his character. But to me, as someone that's a lifelong Drake fan, that's been a Drake fan since So Far Gone, still a Drake fan. I know that that's not cool to admit, but still a Drake fan. This guy needs to stay away from the streamers, man. And look, Drake is under a microscope now, and I get it. Everything is so intensely scrutinized because of the battle. But it's not just the battle. It had nothing to do with the battle, why I've been telling Drake to stay away from the streamers. You have that audience that just wants to make Drake look bad all the time. That's out there for sure. That's because of the battle. But I'm not even talking about them because that opinion I don't really care for. I don't care for the guy that's always going to just dunk on Drake, just to dunk on Drake. The man or woman that just wants to discredit him just to do it. Like, just remaining objective here, remaining, completely unbiased. This shit is weird with the streamers, man. Like, it's not even Drake. Like, I'm only mad at him just because obviously he's a grown man. He has the accountability to be able to. He should be able to see, I shouldn't be here right now. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be with these guys. I should be at a different space if I want to talk hip-hop media, or just laying low and doing my own thing, just doing something else. Because Adin Ross is just super corny when it comes to rap. I mean, I'm sorry. I know there's probably a lot of people out there that like Adin Ross. I don't know if there's many that like Adin Ross that listen to this. But for me, I've just never seen one Adin Ross clip talking hip-hop where I've been like, that's a good point, or I fuck with that. It's just been whatever, dude. Like, he doesn't really care too much about it. He doesn't get into the nuances of hip-hop, and not that means he has to like everything, intellectual and creative and artsy and the avant-garde albums and all of that stuff. He doesn't have to do that, but he just shows a continual lack of appreciation for hip-hop. And At least that's how it comes across in the clips. To be fair, I don't watch his streams. I get that clips could be taken out of context, but there's certainly a continuous image portrayed that he doesn't really care about rap. He likes the people he likes, and that's it. And he doesn't really care about the art form itself, nor does he care to educate himself on the art form himself. He just intends to use his platform when it's convenient or when he wants to promote his people, his artists, his favorite people. And again, Ak obviously falls under that umbrella too. But to me, Adin Ross is just way cornier when he sits there with Drake. All those clips, it's just weird, man. It's just weird. Like you could tell the difference between Drake and Adin Ross in terms of their stages of life and all that. And I'm not saying you can't have, young homies. I'm not saying you can't, just like disregard the youth totally. I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying those two together. It just looks weird. It looks weird, and then he, because he loves Drake, just goes over the top with it. Just is corny. Because again, he's not trying to be a journalist when he's with Drake. He's just trying to be a super fan. He's just happy to have his favorite artist in the same room as him. So he goes super fan mode, and it looks corny. And it's not even Drake. Like Drake's not even doing the most. He's obviously choosing to be there, and I'll get to the reasons why I think he's choosing to be there and why I think ultimately he should stay away from the streamers. But I think I think that, it just looks corny, man. It just looks, it's not a good look when you're when you just got some kid that's just kind of not being a journalist about it and just kind of objectively, not objectively, just fanboying over you. It doesn't look good. No matter who you are, this isn't a Drake thing. Again, I don't blame Drake for a lot of this. A lot of this is just Adin Ross and Akademiks personality-wise and how they carry themselves, looking, in my opinion, goofy, and that rubbing off on Drake. How many times we hear the stories? My mother told me all the time, look at the company you keep. That's a reflection of you. So, be careful of, who you associate with and all of that, because that can be a reputation that could be casted onto you. So I think that the reason I'm also really upset about this, and this is like the last point I had when I was making this video, the more I thought about it, was that I think that Drake is abandoning his first core audience and creating a new one right in front of us. And that first core audience includes me, the So Far Gone people. I mean, look, the people that liked So Far Gone, the people that like Thank Me Later, there's almost nobody I know that likes Thank Me Later, that likes So Far Gone, that likes Take Care kind of always transcends. I think they just kind of know not to disrespect it. But among Drake fans, those early Drake fans, I don't see many of them that like early Drake and then really like the new stuff that's been coming out. The last few projects, Dark Lane demo tapes, Certified Lover Boy, For All the Dogs, Honestly Nevermind. Like, obviously Drake makes different music now, but there's a clear just generational gap in Drake fans. And I think Drake is now kind of leaving us behind, kind of leaving me, the older, the original Drake fans, whatever you want to call us. And I think he's catering now to the people that like Adin Ross, that like Akademiks, that like, that are in the stream world a lot more than, a lot of my generation is. So I think that's what the issue is. I think that Drake is really trying to shift and has been trying to shift for quite some time to a new age demo. And I think that has left people like me sour. I've been very critical of everything since Views. There was good moments on Scorpion, and he's had good moments here and there between awesome features, songs, whatever. Drake makes great music all the time. There's not, to me, a single Drake album that has nothing but bad music. There's always at least something in every Drake project. He's just that talented. But I do feel like there is a strong shift in towards the music Drake was making then versus the music he's making now and who he's trying to cater it to. And I get it. He's trying to cater to the youth. So I think that's part of that is like me as an OG Drake fan being hurt about the fact that he's clearly making an effort to leave us behind. But the other thing I like is that, or I don't like about this, is that he is building a new core fan base that does not care about the rap beefs, that does not care about hip hop. And again, that's where the Adin Ross is, the Akademiks, and Akademiks is different. I actually have to separate Akademiks and Adin Ross because Akademiks, you can have your problems with Akademiks and the way he covers things and how he uses the term journalism to apply to himself, and when he's using content creator, when he's being a journalist, he likes to play both sides of that coin. But he is clearly hip hop. He is clearly hip hop media versus Adin Ross is just dabbling in it for his benefit. Like there is a clear difference. So let me, like Akademiks job, like he covers hip hop constantly. So I do want to separate those two. But they still fall under this umbrella of a different type of hip hop media that, again, mainly with Adin Ross, doesn't really care about hip hop, and that to me is always a dangerous platform. That's why I've always had my big problem with Post Malone. Post Malone, he used White Iverson, got popping off of that, and then went, no, fuck rap. I'm an artist. I'm more than that. And I'm not trying to put a ceiling on his creativity, but you don't have to disrespect hip-hop in order to be something else. And then he has the lines like, oh, I don't listen to J. Cole when I want to cry. I listen to Bob Dylan. I don't listen to rap when I want to feel something. I listen to something else. And you know what? Even if that's true, again, it's the audience he's speaking to. A lot of Post Malone's audience that is either uninformed on hip-hop or doesn't care about hip-hop, or both. And that's what Adin Ross is. And that, to me, is dangerous because when somebody is in that space that is speaking or misrepresenting hip-hop in a certain way to an audience that has its own perception of hip-hop media, that's where the danger lies. That's where I get overtly offended because then I'm like, you're just fueling the stereotypes associated with hip hop, and I don't like that. And so that's a little bit separate from Drake, but that's why I don't like Drake particularly going with a streamer like Adin Ross. But obviously Akademiks, the way he covered Drake, it just looks a certain way. I get that Drake may want to talk to Akademiks because Akademiks has covered him favorably, but again, a lot of people are looking at Drake as, if you want to go to the person that's the yes man, that's supporting you in every way, that's, set on stream, me and Drake, we talk on the phone and we talk about industry politics. Who do you think is going to drop and blah, blah, blah. And all these things Akademiks is proud to say on his stream about his relationship with Drake. And then he wants to tote that he's the biggest and the best journalist in the world. It just, people like me, I see through it. And I don't think that it serves Drake a benefit. I think that you kind of only lose in those situations when you just surround yourself with people that are going to agree with everything you say or not push back. That's where I think you set yourself up for failure. So the last thing here, the last point, and this is a simple point, another reason why Drake should just stay away from these streamers. Dude, you're Drake. You don't need the streamers, man. You don't need the streamers. You are Drake. The second you drop, the world will stop. Especially when you drop your solo album. That's going to do a minimum 400,000 with no rollout. Like, you're going to get the attention. You're going to get the coverage. So if you're just doing this to keep yourself in the limelight, you don't need to. My big criticism of Drake has been the last several years is that I love Drake, but I feel like Drake has oversaturated himself And if he goes away, it will give us time to miss him. That's why I'm very excited for this summer, because last summer the battle happened. Drake retreated, kind of laid low. Now I'm excited. This is probably the most excited I've been for a Drake album since Scorpion, because I know that Drake has something to say in this moment. Drake has something to say, and he's went away for a while, and I miss him. And while all these other artists are having big moments right now, we enjoy them. We all got to admit, hip-hop feels a little different right now without Drake. Hip-hop feels a little different with Drake silent. Like, I like that Nokia's here, and I like that Drake is back with a record like Nokia. That's great to me. I love that. So I'm not here to, do the Kanye, the elimination of Drake. I'm not here for that. I want to see what Drake has to say. And so he is going to have my undivided attention as well as everybody else's undivided attention when he drops. He doesn't need to do these streams to stay relevant. He doesn't need to pop up to them. Now, I know that some people may say that there's like something with State going on, and maybe that's true. Maybe this all just is business. But again, if I'm Drake, I don't need money. I don't need money at all. Like, I just lay low, wait till the album drops, and then boom, you have everything you need to say right there. The people will miss you, and they'll love it. I have high expectations for this next Drake album, very high expectations, and I know that if he locks in, lays low, and actually has an honest and open conversation like he says he's going to have on this album, I know I'm going to receive it very well. I know I'm going to be very happy about this record because I know that Drake is not cooked. He's not washed. He's still got talent. You see it with a record like Nokia. He's got it. He's still got it. He just has to learn from the last couple years. And again, it's not just last year. It's the last several years. I think he just needs to do some recalibrating on a lot of levels. So that's where I'm at with it. Drake, listen, man, if you're watching this, first of all, shout out the Rap Cave. But if you're watching this, man, look, just stay away from the streamers. Lock in. Do what you need to do. The world is waiting for you to drop. And I know that no matter when it is going to be received. It is going to be heard. And at the end of the day, that's all you need. You don't need to pop out and do interviews with these streamers. And I just personally don't think it's a good look for you. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think Drake should keep popping up on these streams? Do you think it's weird? And what are your expectations for the next Drake album? Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and check out the Rap Cave podcast on all social media platforms. Peace out. We'll see you on the next one.